Okay guys, here's the second video I mentioned. Before you watch this video, make sure you watch SOHCAHTOA intro video. So anyways, let's get started here. So first thing, let's do a little refresher, assuming you did watch the video SOHCAHTOA intro. Remember, the SO part is telling us that the sine of an angle is always the ratio of the opposite side with the hypotenuse. The CA part is telling me that the cosine is the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. It's a ratio, guys. And the TOA is telling me that the tangent of a given angle would be its opposite side with its adjacent side. And that's what some old hippie caught another hippie tripping over apples is all about. And your goal is to learn how to use it efficiently. Okay? So anyways, let's get going. So as you can see, here's one of the problems on the back of your worksheet today. Remember step one, we always start with the angle. In our case, we look for the question mark, and that's our angle theta. So it's already marked for us. Step two, remember, is always label the sides. Notice 17 is opposite of that angle. See how it's on the other side? It's really that simple, guys. Opposite means other side. The 28, hopefully you notice, is the hypotenuse side. This side that's missing is the adjacent side. Since it's missing, we won't use it. We can't use it if we don't know what it is. So you have to ask yourself right now, which one uses opposite with hypotenuse? So again, look at SOHCAHTOA, which is the only one that uses an opposite with hypotenuse. Bingo. Sine, right? So I know therefore that the sine of my missing theta is the opposite over the hypotenuse. Now, what's going to be different is we have it set up, but we want to solve for that missing angle theta. How do we do that? Well, I know, and you will learn, that if you do the sine inverse on a sine, they get rid of each other. That's what the inverse function does. So I'm going to do the sine inverse on both sides, and I'll end up with theta equal to the sine inverse of whatever that is. And whatever that is going to be my answer. So I just so happen to use my calculator, as you see down here. And I did the sine inverse of 17 over 28. I got 37.38. Let's just round off to the nearest degree. So I know that angle theta right there, guys, is 37 degrees. Okay, let's try another one. Here's number 22. So let's go through the steps. Step one, we always find where theta is, right? Theta is right down here. Step two, we label our sides. Notice the 49 is opposite, literally on the other side of it. Notice how the 41's right next to it? That's adjacent. This time we're missing this side, which is a hypotenuse. And so, since we're not given the hypotenuse, we can't use the hypotenuse. So here comes the key question again. What uses opposite with adjacent? Well, let's look at SOHCAHTOA, which is the only one that uses O and A. Bingo. TOA is O and A, right? Tangent. So I know that the tangent of theta is the opposite over the adjacent. Now, how do I find this theta again? I need to get rid of this tangent. How am I going to do that? I'm going to do the tangent inverse on both sides again. And now I know theta is going to equal whatever that is. So typing it in correctly in your calculator, and that's one of the things you're going to be practicing without me tomorrow. tangent inverse of 49 over 41. And if I round that off, hopefully I didn't mess up the video when I did that by accident. Rounding that off, that's a 50. So guys, we just figured out the angle theta right there is 50 degrees. Now the one thing I almost forgot, I did cover it in the previous video, is how do I do tangent inverse? You have to press that second button, that shift button, and then the tangent button. Okay? How do we do sine inverse? We press that second button and then we press the sine button. Okay? All right, let's do one more. On this one, do you agree that theta is down here? That's where the question mark is. Notice the 10 is adjacent to theta. This side that's missing is the one that's opposite, right? We don't have the opposite. We can't use the opposite then. The 26, if you look carefully, is the hypotenuse, the longest side. So here comes the key question. What uses A and H? Again, if you look at SOHCAHTOA, some old hippie caught another hippie tripping over apples, right? Which one uses A and H? Cosine. So we know that the cosine of that missing angle theta is the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. How are we going to find theta now? We're going to do cosine inverse on both sides, right? So theta equals whatever that is. And here's the nifty calculator. Now, to get cosine inverse, we're going to press second, then the cosine button. You should see that little -1 pop up with cosine then. Type in 10 over 26 in this case. Rounding that off, I know the missing angle is 67 degrees. So guys, hopefully I did a good enough job for you. Hopefully I was loud enough for you. I'll again try to make it back tomorrow. And hopefully my cough will be gone completely, or at least mostly gone. Okay? But I need you to help each other out. Do the best you can and learn how to do SOHCAHTOA. Okay? And I'll see you soon.